Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Because it's time to write now.
Right 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 now.
Because it's time to write now.
Welcome to another daily live motivation writing stream. We're going to get some writing in today, and we're going to try to see what progress we can make with today's stream. So because we do have our channel member critique group after the stream, we're actually going to be doing 2 writing sprints. We'll be starting them off with 25 minutes apiece and trying to see how productive we can be. So since we're only doing 2 sprints today, that means that during each sprint, we're going to have to be as productive as possible. And of course, if you want to join us on the channel member critique group, all you have to do to become a channel member is click the join button below. It's the right now channel member tier, which is the $9.99 one. But the cool thing is you get free feedback, or you get feedback with a group of other writers. So we're going to be doing that after the stream. Welcome to the community. I'm Kaufman. I'm on a mission to put a dragon on all the problems of the world. And as you can see, I think I have my writing software set up already. Beautiful. I do have it set up. So I am looking forward to getting into it. And make sure to stick around in the break. We'll hang out during the break and see what craziness we can get up to. Hey, what's up, Penumbra? So always happy to have you in the stream, my friend. Hope the writing is treating you well. I appreciate you, Kara. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. And ML, welcome, and Eli. What's up, my friends? Awesome. So we're going to get into our first writing sprint. I'm all ready. Like I said, 25 minutes for the first one, and we're good to go. So whether you are brainstorming, writing, editing, author branding, revising, or maybe just doing something in between, come join us because it's time to write now. All right. In writing sprint done. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Wow. It's always interesting. Like, I feel like I definitely have I have less time to write today, unfortunately, but I am feeling super motivated. So I think I've been kind of dealing with this one chapter for the last like week. Right now, it seems like it's averaging me about a week per chapter for each one that I'm revising. Seems to be my average. I was kind of stuck on one of these character dynamics, and I finally solved it yesterday when I was trying to think through the problem. And now I feel really good. Um, so with where I'm at in the story right now, for those just joining us, right now we are in one of the few standalone Mr. Crow chapters. We are in one of the few standalone Mr. Crow POV chapters. Our eccentric Crow, who has not only gotten lost from Scarecrow and the Pixie, but is in his attempt to escape the primates, he comes across another group of not hapless, but another group of creatures, animals, an otter and a squirrel, who are facing off against a trio of primates who are basically just shooting nets at them and trying to capture them as they're pushing them towards the edge of a plateau. So we have Mr. Crow, who I'm trying to decide on if I like Mr. Crow's POV. I'm because I haven't had to write a lot in Mr. Crow's POV, but he has been a very central character. It's interesting because I kind of keep going back and forth. He's definitely unreliable. He of all the characters, he is the most unreliable character, probably in the first book, like for sure. And I'm kind of going back and forth and like stylistically how I want him to come across. So, I mean, there's moments where it's kind of like a little poetic, and then there's moments where it's like I think his actions work now because I very intentionally have him like forget that Scarecrow and Pebble were captured. He like very intentionally forgot, and he just like flies off to go eat food. But then he remembers, and he's kind of going back and forth in his challenges. Ground question: what do you mean by ground trodden? Do you mean downtrodden? I don't know. What did I say? Did I say ground trodden? That's funny. The ground trodden apes. Ground trodden's a new word. Penumbra. Ground trodden is the word. That's funny. Ground trodden. Oh, actually, I actually wonder if I could make that a word. Ground trodden. Trodden ground for so long that's been walked untrampled. Ground trodden. I wonder if I could turn that into a word. I'd have to think about that. Ground trodden. Downtrodden. Let's go what downtrodden means. Oppressed or treated badly. You know what? Actually, I think I'm going to try it, because then downtrodden means people who've been oppressed. The ground trodden apes. Ground trodden, downtrodden. Great call out. Great call out, Penumbra. So, yeah, so I there's a number of different things that I'm trying for this chapter for Crow. So I kind of need to feel it. In the rough draft, I feel like Crow wasn't as memorable as I wanted him to be. And I feel much happier with how he's shaped up so far in the novel. So, but how's everybody else's writing coming along? I hope your writing's coming along great. And it looks like we got some progress here. Um, let's see. And what else do we got? And of course, Adrian, really good call out. Anybody who's joined us for the Read Now book club, we're reading Adrian's book this month. So anybody who is part of the Read Now book club, definitely make sure our live discussion for the book club is going to be next weekend. So definitely I'm very much looking forward to that. Holly, that's so awesome. Like 510 words for that sprint. Woo, success. Love it. Mary, like sometimes I do around 100 words, other times it's like 5. Yeah, and I feel like I've kind of been in that like very low word range the past week. I've kind of been like trying to make it through this chapter for sure. Yeah, trodden ground does mean trampled ground or grass trampled into mud. Yeah, I think I'm trying to decide if I want to go stylistically with it because like crow is like very like, the crow's interiority is very like stylistically different and it's very intentionally so. And I think I'm just trying to I haven't decided if I want to introduce new words that are that work towards specifically for crow because crow is extremely unreliable. So I'm kind of going back and forth. There's kind of like a undertone of poetry in there as well, but I have to like get through the chapter and then I have to get through all the crow POV sections in this arc and kind of see how it feels. I think to see if it works or not. Hey, what's up, Bethany? Welcome, welcome. Eli, I got 80 words written, trying to finagle it. So Maxie is more responsible for getting her mom and friend into trouble because she's a rule follower. Well, at least you're getting some good progress, man. At least you're getting some writing in. That's always awesome. Always, always great. Hey, what's up, Bethany? Appreciate you stopping by. Like at a ball game, wanted to pop in and say hi whilst writing here. Always appreciate you, my friend. Yeah. So we'll definitely be looking forward to that next weekend. But in the meantime, today is our YouTube channel member critique group. Are you looking for feedback on your story? Then become a channel member. So once a month, our critique group meets. This is one of the benefits of the YouTube channel membership. All you have to do to become a channel member is hit that join button down below this YouTube live stream. It's $9.99 a month. But let me tell you this, you will get more value out of this than you would spend on like $10 on like a cup of Starbucks. Essentially, you bring your story excerpt with you, and then you'll get to share it with the group, and you'll get feedback from a lot of different writers, myself included. I think we've done about 5 or 6 critique groups so far, and every single time, everyone has shared how much value they've gotten out of it. So that's actually right after the stream today. It's going to be in just under an hour, but for anybody who still wants to join, now's the time, my friends. It's once a month, and today is the day. So I'm super looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing some good stories for sure. And on that note, we're going to hop into our second writing sprint. Like I said, we're sprinting a little bit shorter today because, like I said, we got critique group. But we're going to hop into writing sprint number 2, 25 minutes for the second one. I think I feel ready. Actually, I do feel ready. I'm actually on a really good vibe right now. Today's going to be one of those days where I'm like wanting to write longer and I'm not going to be able to. All right. So I feel good. Let me pull up my screen and we will get into it. Writing sprint. Dose. All right. And I am all ready. So whether you are brainstorming, writing, editing, author branding, revising, just trying to write, or maybe you're just procrastinating a little bit, come join us because it's time to write now. All right. Writing sprint over. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So, how were you able to do that time? Did you get any work done on your writing? Did you get any ideas, words? Hopefully, you got a little bit of progress. I know, Penumbra, you were asking me about the crow stuff, which it's actually really interesting. I do get to explore bits of it. I do actually do get to explore bits of it throughout the book. Let's see. It makes sense that there would be a bias between land dwellers and avians. Do they have slang that they use to insult each other? They did. So during Crow's era, when during the animal wars, which they were really called the tribal wars, there was quite a lot of slang that was used during that time period, of which they're very almost like segregated by species in a sense. So definitely almost by different animal types, I would say. And crow is probably one of like the last remnants of that time period, realistically. And even then, it could almost be argued, is he actually a last real remnant, and like how little he remembers? He's almost like crow is like a relic. I would say crow is definitively a bit of a relic in this time period. But yeah, during that time period, when during the tribal wars, there was definitely a lot of insults, and I think I'm trying to capture it in a way where like bits and pieces come back to crow at a time, kind of depending on his style. So I'm kind of playing around with like how much do I have come back, and then as I ask myself, like from a reading experience, I want the reader to feel very intrigued by crow, and to feel like they're getting another layer peeled back of previously he's just this really weird eccentric character that kind of spouts off nonsense, and now this is the first time we're actually getting a deeper layer into him and an understanding of how short just how much his memory is really frayed. So Mary, that's awesome. That's awesome, though. Just short of 16,500. Awesome progress, my friend. Glad you were able to get some work in. And yeah, so I feel pretty good. I feel like we were able to make some great progress today. Even though we were a little shorter, I'm very happy with what we did. Now, as we reach creative writing on the morrow, I'll be back tomorrow with another daily writing sprint. Tomorrow is Friday. Yes, so tomorrow, same time, 3:30 Pacific, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. I'll be here. Make sure to come join us if you want to get some more writing in. And this weekend, Saturday, we got the next story and critique stream. So if you're not joining us for the channel members critique group today, make sure to submit now for the story and critique show. That is this Saturday. And we will be having a blast as we do live readings and live critiques from the community. So the submission form is linked down in the YouTube description. And that's what I got for you today. If you enjoyed the stream, tap that like button on your way out. Help us show the algorithm that writing streams are cool. Awesome. And I'm so glad we were all able to make some progress. And if you're in the critique group, I'll be seeing you in a bit. Otherwise, this brings us to the end of the stream. Don't forget, words are wind, but stories are forever. I'm Kaufman, and I'll catch you on the morrow. Stay creative, writers.
Right now.
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 Because it's time.